are planting our orchard today, finally. We've had all of our trees for
150 years.
A very long time. Some of them are actually looking kind of sad. So today is the day.
But I think I don't do this,
So we need to figure out, I think it was about.
that one was sad.
Okay, hold on. So you could put that one like, I think it was like kind of here. We had them staggered.
I think that's like popping off the tomato trees.
All right, we have everything laid out, all the trees. There's even a tiny little fig tree back there. There's no way you're gonna see it. It's literally like this big. But they can get really huge, so I hope that survives. And then all the other trees are down here. We actually have 2 elderberry bushes that we're gonna put in line down there. We're actually going to plant these trees, like the rows that they're in. We're gonna plant lots of things in their rows. It's gonna be like tree guilds, if you will. I'll have Casey explain more of that in a little bit, but we're gonna plant some comfrey in the rows. We have some raspberries we're gonna plant in the rows, and we'll probably add stuff here and there as we have it and as there is space. This stuff is wild. You just buy root cuttings and it grows off of that. And we have like, how many of these do we have? 20?
Yeah.
20 of those to plant.
Fruit tree guild, I guess you could do it with any kind of tree, but you basically, you know, in the perimeter around the tree, you would plant beneficial things. So like nitrogen fixers, like comfrey is a good nitrogen fixer, clover is a good nitrogen fixer. And what that means is it essentially brings nitrogen to the soil instead of it going, you know, just washing off or whatever. And nitrogen is very good for plants. You can also plant things like raspberries and blueberries, and it's just all like you're creating an ecosystem, beneficial ecosystem, if you will, for your fruit tree, but it also is really good for your plants. And it just kind of, you know, every area is a little bit different too. So, you know, you could start talking to people that live in your area to find out what things they put in their fruit tree guilds. You could do flowers are good to put in there, or herbs and stuff for that flower, for pollinators, because all of your fruit trees are going to need pollination. So you want to attract beneficial insects and whatnot. That's what I know. You want really this to be at soil level. Build like a little pyramid, loosen the soil at the bottom so that the roots go over this pyramid. Obviously implant it more straight.
So we just got this attachment for our IBC tote so we can hook a water hose up, and works pretty good. I need to put some plumber's tape so there's less leaking, but it's okay for the most part. Does that not get tighter? Oh my god. I just turned it on. I think you gotta get the part where you put the whole thing on the ground so it comes out first. There we go. So we have, obviously we can't like use that spray head or sprinkler, but we can get water from the IBC tote all the way over here with no power. Nice. We are done planting all the trees. It's kind of a miracle. It took us right under 3 hours, which is
Really not that bad. We've been putting it off.
Yeah.
Well, there's just always something else.
yeah.
You know.
And we had, I guess, 11 trees and 2 elderberry bushes. And yeah, we did it, and we took a break in there. So what is that thing called? The auger really helps.
We have a love-hate relationship with it because it's kind of a pain in the butt to start sometimes. It's very persnickety, but man, it's great.
Yeah, because
For
it just
digging
breaks
holes.
the soil up right where you're digging. You still have to go
With the shovel.
You have to go, yeah. So Casey dug all the maybe like 4 or 5 holes per tree with the auger, and then I went behind her and scooped it all the soil out with the shovel and made sure it was big enough on the bottom. And then yeah, planted them all, and now we're going to eat lunch. We still have to do some other things like mulching and compost and that kind of stuff, but the trees are in the ground, and for that we are very, very happy.
Because they keep falling over.
Yeah,
Because they're on, like, we're planting them on a slope, so we've had them sitting on that slope, and a wind comes and they just fall over.
Yeah, they're just always falling over. Doesn't look like much right now, but they're planted. And you might be like, why is there this garden right in the middle? We knew this was where we were planting the trees and that this garden wouldn't be here next year, but we wanted to go ahead and plant something whenever we did plant this. I don't remember, it was a while ago. And also the pile of wood that will be going at some point. That's been here since we bought the land. So this will just be trees in like rows of the guilds. There'll be 3 rows. You'll be able to walk down the middle. But for now, the trees are in the ground. Oh, and we got to plant the comfrey.
And the raspberry.
Yeah, that's
And
for
the
after
seaweed.
lunch. Well, I don't think any of the other ones will really be like that.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm digging a basin around here so that when it rains, the water will kind of be more likely to stay here, especially since we're on a slope, so it'll hold on to the water. We're going to put compost also in this ring, so when it rains, it'll compost. The nutrients from the compost will go there, and then we'll put wood chips all around here, but not putting it up to we'll leave a ring around there. These are my two favorite garden tools. A hori knife, and just this regular old trowel we broke the other one the other day, and this one looks like it might be on its way out. But I like to dig with this over a big shovel. I don't know why, but I do. And this has you can dig, it's got measurements, and you can dig, but it also, you can cut, I don't have one, but you can cut a root with it. You know, if that was attached to the ground, I could cut it.
Did you cut your finger?
No, but almost did. It's cool. Use some of your digging capabilities and dig me a trench, girl. I split it. I split the wooden handle. Second time I've done it. And we don't have another one, so I gotta make it work.
And of course our duct tape is bright orange.
I know, we have white duct tape somewhere, but I couldn't find that. I found the bright orange. So,
not too shabby.
But it's working.
Love that thing.
It's a short rake.
Short rake?
That's what he calls it.
I see. That's a pretty good method.
These are pine bark. We love to also use wood chips. What it's really great for is keeping the moisture in the soil. Also, over time it breaks down, and when it breaks down it releases all kinds of good stuff. So we really like using this as opposed to like a traditional stained mulch or whatever, because that's got some sort of dye in it, and so that'll wash through, and you don't want all that. But this stuff is pretty good. When we started mulching with wood chips just in our vegetable gardens, it made a huge difference. When I say mulching, we use wood chips, and man, I'll never forget, I think I watered our tomatoes twice. That's it.
Ever.
Like the whole summer, the whole time, 2 times. And that's just because, you know, when it rains, it's holding on to that moisture instead of the soil being exposed and evaporating. And I would always check and make sure it was damp under there, and all through the summer. I think the 2 times I had to was when they were when you first put the seedlings in, they're just like a little more fragile, so I kind of made sure that the ground was wet. But after they were established, that was it. Pretty awesome. We also will use some straw, so you can see we have the straw as mulch. I mean, we use straw as mulch, and you can see that this is over our garlic beds. And if you look at our ground now, it just looks like we're in a desert. It's so dry. But underneath that soil, underneath that straw is wet. I mean, like really wet. It's crazy. Like you can just see here. I mean, that's pure sand. It's crazy. And then under here, you can see how wet that is. It's crazy. So, mulch your plants. That's all I'm saying. You can use straw, you can use wood chips. The issue with straw is that sometimes it will still sprout and actually will grow. We haven't had a problem with this batch of straw, but we've had that problem before. It's cheap. It's a lot easier to get to. Wood chips, if you live in a larger city, you can get a service called Chip Drop. It's just like www.chipdrop.com, and you can request a load of wood chips. I will say, be prepared, because it is like this huge thing of wood chips. We were able to go through them all, but it may be more than what you're looking for. But we can't. I wish we could get out here where we live. That's not a thing. When we had trees cut down, we had the guy mulch or chip some of those branches. So we have a little bit. We have some. That's why we're using pine bark nuggets as well, because we're not gonna have enough to do all the trees. Another benefit is suppresses weeds when you mulch. So it's just good stuff, man. Don't want it these chips to touch the tree, so I'm just leaving a little border.